Hello, it's Adam from Adam Reid at the French, and I'm going to do just a little bit of a simple cooking demo for some, well, home cooked food basically. Obviously we're all in lockdown at the moment, we can't really get out, it's a bit harder than normal to get all the ingredients you want, so we need to see some nice simple recipes using basic ingredients. So we're basically going to do some braised pork chops with, I can probably call it kind of like a ratatouille vegetable kind of stew. So we've got, like I say, some lovely pork chops, nice thick, probably 6 ounce chops each, a little bit of dry cured bacon. We're going to make that with a stew of carrots, onions and mixed peppers. I've got yellow and green here, and then some aubergine. First we're going to colour off the pork in a frying pan with a little bit of olive oil, nice and healthy. Not too much, and we just want some lovely colour on there. I'm cooking on induction today, so it's a little bit, you got to look after the controls a little bit more. Okay, it's a nice hot pan. And we just want to sear them down. Don't cook them through, you just want fast colour on them. Okay, while they're cooking, go through this. So the aubergine, we've done one extra kind of process to it. So you can use it as it is, we've diced it up here, but what we've done is salted it. So sprinkle it with, a couple of tablespoons of salt. This is 1 aubergine, and then we've left it for a couple of hours in the fridge. And then drained it off, rinsed it in some cold water, and then dried it on a little bit of towel. What it does is, if you can see, it just draws out some of the extra moisture. So if you look, it's like a little dried sponge. Aubergines are full of moisture. So we just want to take a little bit out of that so it doesn't make the stew any, or the sauce any waterier than we want it to be. Okay. So as much as you can get them there, a little bit of salt and pepper. You'll see that we're going to season all the ingredients at every stage, unless they're already naturally salted like the bacon. If you season at every stage, then by the time you get to the end of the cooking process, you won't need any more. It's all balanced, and then you've got a very, very, very balanced recipe going on. If you try and put nothing in and then season at the end, then you'll end up with something that's a little bit, well, it's a bit bland, even if you put the salt and pepper in at the end. Okay, when they're coloured, we're going to put in this bacon. It's just sliced into nice chunky pieces. This is kind of like a thick sliced bacon. If it's too thin, it'll just fall apart and disintegrate in the braising mechanism. And again, nice high heat. We want to colour that off. You can use different oils, you can use different fats. If you have a little bit of, I like to use kind of like animal fats, so if you add a bit of your bacon fat from when you're making a bacon butty, you would say, you can use that, it'll just emphasise the pork flavour. A bit of dripping, a bit of duck fat, anything really. We're using olive oil here just so it's a little bit cleaner, obviously fresher to go with the ingredients, the vegetables and the other ingredients. Okay, while that's frying up, show you the other ingredients. We've got stock for braising. Obviously I've not made this anything special. If you've had a roast chicken, you can make a little bit of basic chicken stock, but this is, a little stock pot, a little stock cube. It's got about a pint's worth there, or about 2/3 of a litre maybe. I've also got some leftover potato, so this is from making my roast potatoes for our Sunday lunch the other day. We've saved them instead of roasting them, we kept them, and we're just going to chuck them in at the end, and it's going to help thicken it. Some tomato puree, and then some sliced spring onions. Spring onions are We're only going to go in at the end to finish it. I sometimes like to, if you've got a stew or something braised, it's nice to have that little bit of fresh ingredient at the end just to liven it up. So there's your bacon. Very quickly seared. You see you've got the fats and the juices out of there. We're going to leave that in, because then when we get our other ingredients in, which we don't need to worry about getting colour or anything like that, we're going to do what's called sweating. So we're going to pop them in and we're going to keep them moving. These are all diced up. You can do any shape you want. You don't have to get them as small as this. You can get them even smaller if you want. But basically you just need evenly sized pieces that are all going to be cooking at the same time. Sometimes with the aubergine you can get that in first and actually get some colour on it. Fry it quite intensely. But we're just going to pop it all in and you're basically just getting it on the highest heat you can and then keeping it moving. You can always cook this with a lid on as well, which will draw out all the the natural moisture and the juices of the vegetables, but it'll keep it inside the pan. That truly is sweating, so obviously it kind of makes the vegetables sweat and keeps all those juices and flavours. We're not bothered. We're going to try and cook these without any colour, so you don't change the kind of flavour or texture. But we're going to try and get rid of some of that excess moisture. We want these to almost dry out a little bit, concentrate the flavour, make the flavours a lot more intense, so that when we put them into our braised, our stew, our stock, then those vegetables are going to add extra flavour to the stock rather than just to try. Okay, so we've just started the cooking process on the vegetables. We started wilting a little bit. We're getting a little bit of that extra moisture coming out of them. You can see them starting to soften. The colours are all getting a little bit brighter. So before that dims, before too much flavours out, we're going to put a little bit of mixed herbs in. These are just dried, nothing special. We've not got a herb garden outside that we're going picking fresh ones from. A bit more salt, a bit of pepper. So hopefully that's going to hydrate the herbs a little bit. The flavours will all come together. Keep that cooking and you'll see it fall. It'll drop down to about 2/3 of the volume that it was before. Stop. Okay, so you can see we've come back to the vegetable now. It's cooked through. As you can see, it's tightened up. All those colours are starting to get a little bit, just losing that little bit of brightness without going dull. But you can see the main thing is the volume. It's all tightened up a little bit. It looks like there's less in the pan. It's because you've lost most of that moisture. What we're going to do now is basically get that into the tray. But first, we're going to add a little bit of tomato puree. Only a small bit. It's nice. Things like this, it's nice just to have that little bit of acidity that the tomato puree brings to it, the richness, the intensity of flavour. Because we're not necessarily going to use anything to thicken the stock, thicken the. It's not really a stew, It's going to be a braised liquid. So that bit of tomato just gives it the richness you're looking for. So just keep that on as high as you can. Ooh. Keep it frying. And we still want to cook it out. So even though tomato puree, obviously in its nature is it's intensified tomato, so it is cooked, but you want to kind of give it a little bit of fry and freshen it up, bring the flavour out of it, amalgamate it with all the other flavours and vegetables in your pan. There we go. We're just going to pop that straight on top. You see the colours on there, they're wonderful, beautiful, beautiful bright colours. Obviously, we don't just cook things to make them colourful. There's more to it than that. Mainly there's flavour, but it always helps to have things that look nice. Beautiful. Okay, then we're going to go back to the pan. We don't necessarily need to clean it out. If it looks pretty, pretty tidy as it is, that's just flavour that's in there. So we'll add a little bit more oil. Get it back on high. And we're just going to put these scraps of potato. So there are diced stuff in the bottom of there. There's also lots of little shavings. And we're going to get that in. We're just going to really lightly fry it off. And what that's going to do is stop the potato just from breaking up and dissolving into all the liquid. So you'll still get little fried pieces of potato in there, but then the excess will thicken the stock a little bit. Stop. Okay, you're back now with the fried potato. It looks quite mushy, looks quite mashed up. Obviously, they were from doing my roast potatoes, so I've overcooked them a little bit. And we want that as well. But we just fried off the edges. Everything's come together somewhat. And we're just going to spread that on top of the vegetables. Mix it in. You see, it's only a small amount. It's just going to give the dish the body that we're looking for. Okay. And the last thing before it goes in the oven is obviously the stock. So we're not looking to drown it. We just want enough that's going to cover the whole thing. There we go. Even out the top. If you've got a lid, great. Other than that, we're just going to put a thin layer of foil on there. You don't need loads. I'm not desperate to keep all the moisture in. You just don't want it to dry out too much. That being said, we want to get the edges nice and tight. Okay, I'm just going to put that in the oven now for approximately an hour on around about 180 degrees Celsius, and it should be ready to go. So, nice hour's gone by. We're going to get it out of the oven and see where it's at. Wow. Smells interesting. Got some plates warming. Okay. Open up the foil. You've got to watch yourself for obviously steam. You don't want to burn yourself at this point, just before your tea. There we go. As you can see, it's all cooked in. It is quite wet. We want it to be more like a braise than a stew. So there's nothing in there to thicken it other than that. A little bit of potato, some of which has stayed lovely and bitty. So we're going to finish this now with the spring onions. Like I said, it's sometimes nice to have a little bit of freshness going on to something like this that's been in the oven for an hour or so. It's a lovely way of getting some piquancy into the dish. There we go. Beautiful. Now we're going to serve this with some braised rice. Boiled rice is fine, but I just cooked this with a little bit of stock in the oven in a tray. And some steamed cabbage, really simple. So under there somewhere are our lovely pork chops. There you go. See that? Beautiful. So we'll get a bit of rice on first. And remember, this is home cooking. Obviously there's loads of different ingredients you can use. You can jazz it up as much as you want. You can keep it as simple as much as you want. But basically, it's a one pot wonder this. That lovely pork chop sat on there. And then get as much of that topping as you can on. There you go. A little bit of the juice. I'm sure there's a more technical term I could use, but I don't know what it is. There you go. Beautiful. Now we're going to have this as a family of 4. Kids will eat it, I'll eat it. It's lovely and tasty. If there's anything left over, that's perfect to carry for tomorrow as well.